Good everybody, and welcome to Wednesday Night Motorsport. A week break in between Season 1, Round 1 for Season 2 here tonight for the Real Sim Racing Australia Super 2 E-Series. And boy, is it going to be one action-packed season. 12 rounds, not like 17 last season. We've got 12 rounds this season. Drivers are going to be out, and the elbows are going to be wide. It's a lot of driving to get done in such a short season, and there's going to be a lot of guys jumping for that top spot early on in this season to try and secure themselves in a championship contending spot come the end of the 12-week stint for this one. Matt Davis, Peter Gritton join you tonight with JP on the buttons for the Montreal 160. Peter, mate, new season 2 now for the RSRA. New drivers, a few returning drivers as well. We saw quite a few names last night in the Super Series with Zach Haven and Chris Kisby commenting on that one. JP actually covered Kisby on that night. Few returning drivers, few new names though popping up onto that one, and a lot of names that were in the split ones for the season 1 have now come into the Super 2 E-Series. Mate, what are your thoughts this season? What's it going to be like, you reckon?
Yeah, g'day mate, g'day to all the viewers and of course JP behind the scenes and all the buttons. New people, new faces, new series names actually, and it's good to see, like you said, the young guns jump up, and if you didn't catch last night's broadcast, jump on the SimShed and you can get all that there on the YouTube and the Facebook platforms. But there was an awesome race last night. A massive field. We got new faces. We got a new name. It's RSRA now, and but, you know, it's the same place. It's the SimShed broadcast, and this is Wednesday night, Matt. It's going to be a good night. Seriously, like, the field is packed where this series is gone or come from when I first jumped on, and to now. Absolutely awesome, the growth, and to have 40 people on track tonight to commentate for, Matt. I'm excited, mate. This is going to be an awesome race, or awesome series.
Awesome season it's going to be for Season 2, ladies and gentlemen, and Peter, that's for sure. You mentioned before we've got a new name, that is correct, the Real Sim Racing Australia, or Australasia as it is on the Facebook page. We've moved away from calling it the Goodyear Auto Care Warana V8 T2 E-Series, but they are still on board for our main sponsors, so it's good to see those guys back supporting this Wednesday night motorsport for you, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll bring JP in just briefly there as we see a few cars just piling up there on the main straight, pulling over. A little bit of car damage on the front. JP, mate, we'll bring you in very, very briefly. We know you had a big night last night for Tuesday Night Motorsport next to Zach. We know how much he can talk, but you got a fair bit of talking done in there. You've had a pretty busy week and a bit leading up. You had the pre-qualifying to sort out. Obviously, for those of you that are joining us and that are new, the drivers for the Super Series and the Super 2 E-Series had to go through a pre-qualifying format. They had 3 races, a Monday, Thursday and Sunday, and they had to get 8 consecutive laps with no off-tracks, no nothing, and that decided their splits there. They had a Monday night on the Lime Rock, then you had Spa, and then I think we went to Belle Isle. So, JP, you really put these guys under the pump for this season?
Yeah, good evening, guys, and welcome viewers around Australia and around the world. We really put these guys through the ringer, but what we were looking to do is to get as close a racing as we possibly could throughout both the splits. There's no real top and bottom split now. These guys are very evenly matched. So after doing their pre-qualifying rounds, we're going to see some incredibly close racing.
So we've gone away from the fixed setups on Wednesday Night Motorsport. We've gone to a complete open setup across both series now, JP. That's going to mix things in between. Obviously, we've got teams in the Super Series and the Super 2E Series, so they're going to be able to share setups amongst that. Drivers will obviously make their own little tweaks to suit themselves. How are we going to be looking on times, Randy? We know you've had the timesheets for pre-qualifying and that. Over the 80 drivers, and you might be able to tell me off the top of your head, you can't remember. What was the gap between obviously our number one pre-qualifier and our bottom pre-qualifier?
Look, the gap was incredibly narrow right across the entire field. I think for the first 30 or 40, the gap was around about 0.2 of a second, as far as average lap times were concerned. So, it's going to come down to setup, racecraft, and tactics, these races.
Well, mate, we'll let you get back to pushing some buttons and floating in the background there, feeding us some information in our ears. Obviously, there's no championship points to go through either at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. We're round one, so there's nothing to go through there. But we do have the track notes for you on standby, so we'll get the itty-gritty business out of the way and see what's going to happen around Circuit Jules Villeneuve, Montreal in Canada for the Montreal 160. 4.36 kilometres in length, 37 laps. There's no shorter race distance now. They're both racing the same distance across both nights. 161.3 kilometres in race distance. The pit speed limit, a new little label there for everybody at home and for us in the booth, 64 k's an hour. So that's one to be looking out for. Race control going to be looking out for that one as well. Drivers going to be wanting to try and squeeze that extra kilometre an hour out of the cars to try and transit down that lane just that little bit quicker. It could make or break for a position change. 46.6 litres in fuel tonight. 2 pit stops, 3.8 litres of fuel burn, and 2 tyres limit as well. 23rd of June 2021 with an 8:30 a.m. race start. 18 degrees track temp, 22 degree track temp, and a southwesterly wind direction of 15 kilometres an hour. So coming down the Casino Straight, they're going to be copying a little bit of a crosswind down there. It won't affect the cars and the aerodynamics too much, but look out for what's going to be coming into the Wall of Champions. The cars are going to be a little bit unsettled coming under there. Peter, there's a few names that have jumped across or stayed in the Wednesday Night Motorsports. You've got John Bain, Andrew Johnson from E1. David Nash has made a return for the Super 2E Series. That's going to be, we knew he was a contender last season. You reckon he might be the number one guy to beat? He was up there pretty high. He might have a target painted on his back.
Yeah, well, I think everyone's got their target painted on their back coming into round one from any series, be it in real life or on sim, the way we are and the growth, like we stated in the pre-show, or we still in the pre-show, but the growth of this series, it's been phenomenal. But there is some names in here. Simon Vella is probably not a name that we're used to seeing in the Super 2 or the GAC series. Steve Martin, I've called a few races for him in my time. Robbie Bradbury, there's some names. Robert Brewer as well, Tim Mulford, Simon Vella, David Nash. It's the way they done their pre-qual as well, Matt, and we'll just spend a little bit of time on that. You got to do 8 consecutive laps that are clean. You can't have an off track in 8 laps over 3 different tracks that no one knew. The track temps, so I hear from the people that done it, was like racing on the sun. So they weren't set at the best conditions, and I think that's a good thing, Matt. I really do. The racing that I seen last night in the opening rounds of the Split 1 of this series, being the Super Series, well, we've got the same grid size and the same closeness of racing. So the next 12 weeks, and that's another thing as well, it's 5 weeks or a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, I think, shorter than the last one. So if you want to get the job done, well, you've got to have the elbows out from week 1, and we're right here. It's round 1. Qualifying's done. We're just about ready for the race. It's going to be a good series, Matt, and I'm going to be here all the way to call every round with you, I hope. But the lead up, the build up, everything's been good. The new name changes. The RSRA Super 2. Hey, I'm excited.
Well, I'm glad you weren't doing the averaging of the qualifying times, because there's actually a 5-week difference between 12 weeks and 17 weeks there. So glad you weren't doing the averages over the qualifying times on that one, mate. Might have to send you back to the third grade on that one, I think.
Well, commentate, mate. Third grade. Funny you say that, Matt. Third grade. Third grade was the longest 4 years of my life, just saying.
Well, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. There is 3 zeros on the clock of our time in tower there. That means qualifying is done. The last few drivers are going to be getting on to the business and getting their last laps in. Shane Clark tops the time board, though, with a 1:35.67, 5 tenths clear over Scotty. Will it hold, though? That is the big question. We've got Jamie Davis out on track. He's still circulating, and we know he's quick as well. Who else? Cole Zink's still circulating. Stephen Martin's still circulating. We know he's quick. We've seen him. I've seen him in the OSRs and on track in the officials. I know that he's quick. Robbie Bradbury, can he pull a Bradbury moment and cop a pole position? Actually, will it hold though? Going back to will it hold with Shane Clark. There's obviously the rules are even across both series. Last season we had slightly different rules for the GAC T2E series. Now for the RSA Super 2E series, the rules are even. So the boys are racing under the same rules as the Super Series on Tuesday night. That means if you're out in qualifying, you are not allowed to escape from your car back to the pits. You must drive the car back to the pits. Otherwise, you forfeit your starting position for the race. And unfortunately, by the sounds of it, Shane Clark did just that. We'll get confirmation very, very shortly in the up-and-coming seconds when the drivers start to grid up. But from what he commented on the Discord channel, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that he did escape back to the pits, and he forgot about the rule. So he may have just forfeited pole position there and gave that to Scotty. But nevertheless, he still cops the 5 bonus points. That's another thing that we're carrying over as well into Season 2. We are allowing the drivers 5 bonus points for pole position, then another 5 points for clean racing. So if you can bag those extra 10 points across a number of races throughout the season, you're going to be having yourself a pretty decent championship point at the end of the season. But let's go through the starting grid. Shane Clark, I just got confirmation that starting from the pit. So that leaves Scotty to leave the front row on his own in position 2 there. Row 2 will be David Nash, Hayden Smith. Row 3, Jamie Davis, Brian Good. Row 4, Cole Zink, Simon Bella. Row 5, Bruce Tannick and Tim Mulford. Row 6, Troy Allen and Robert Brawl. Few names you'll see through here, ladies and gentlemen: Adam Moore, Stephen Martin, Benjamin Stein, Tony Gaffick, Craig Casper, John Nicholas, Jonathan Baines, Scott Short, David Leslie, Stephen Banks, Robbie Bradbury, and Mark Turner there down in 24th position. Jason Schooler, Peter Kelly, Brenton Nitschke, Daniel Schultz, Andrew Johnson, Tommy Foster, Stephen Lawrence, Stephen Black, Stead Miller, Nathan Clive. Can't quite read the name on my screen there, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies. I believe that is Will sitting down there in 35th, and then Alex in 36th position. Massive field to get through tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Gary Crittenden, Stephen Farrington, Craig Gurry, Anthony Vishka, and Blake sitting down there in 40th. The lights are up and they're out of the way. We ran out of time, but the start's underway for the first round of the RSRA Super 2 E-Series. David Nash with a bolting start along with Jamie Davis, already up 2 and 3 positions. They sit first and second. Through turn 1 they go, and there's already chaos in turn 1, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't even been racing for 15 seconds and there's chaos in turn 2. Car off into turn 3 and 4. One of the right, boys. It's all action-packed on the start here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be surprised if you're going to be seeing a safety car on the first lap for the first round for the Super 2 E-Series. On board at the moment with Scotty. Sitting nice and pretty in third position behind Jamie Davis and David Nash. Coming into 9 and 10. Tricky part of the circuit. They're going to be wanting to watch those curbs tonight. Really kicks the car out. Now coming down into the hairpin. Look at that for an aerial shot. Into the hairpin, Nash comes. Pulls it up in first gear. Round he goes for the first time, and up Chesino straight. He takes it for the first time for the Montreal 160. Nice long straight. Newlock's brakes coming down to the hairpin in the background there, ladies and gentlemen. A few puffs of smoke if you saw that one. Now for the bravest corner of the track. You've got to be committed on this one. The Wall of Champion. Cold tyres. They slow it right down. Jamie Davis takes a nice chunk of curb and leads them over the line to start lap 2. Peter, mate, we'll see if we can get some replays off JP of that turn 2 incident. Jamie Davis up on the inside of turn 1. Takes a big curb cut. That's another thing to note tonight, ladies and gentlemen. 13 incident points and then 9x there after that. So we've really pulled up on the drivers tonight. The Goodyear Autocare will run a replay for you, ladies and gentlemen, of the race start. We'll see what happens here. On board at the moment with Troy Allen. Hops the curb, around he goes. Then something else happens in turn 2. They get argy-bargy. Big gridlock going into there. Troy Allen just holds it wide on the grass, plays it safe, tries to get traction, not going to get traction out there. But he rejoined nice and clean, and away they go. There we go, car 469. I just got word in my ear here. Brian Good cops a drive-through penalty.
Yeah, well, it was pretty. It's not really surprising with what we've seen there, Matt. I'm looking further down on my screens, and also like I'm darting my head left and right from my screen to what's been shown. And there's a few drivers that are driving around that we're having a look at now. I think it's Robert Brewer driving around with what I like to say is the aeroless package. I don't know if it's iRacing's got it right, and it may be hindering him, but they've all slowed down. Is this are we under yellow there, Matt? I'm not too sure.
There will be a safety car out on track if all the boys are checking up. And our safety car driver. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time. It hasn't taken long. It's only lap 2. And the new Porsche Simshed Broadcasting safety car is out on track. And the driver behind that one tonight is, I believe, Craig Schultz. So Schultz back in the hot seat for the safety car driving for the Super 2 E-Series, boys. And in the new look Porsche, we did have the Goodyear Autocare Rana Lamborghini GT3, but we're using the Porsche now, the brand new Porsche that iRacing have just brought out, using that across both series now, and boy does that look good, and apparently it handles as good as it looks. So hopefully we don't have to see it too many more times tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But first safety car for round 1, season 2, and it's only taken 3 laps. Peter?
Well, I think we've kicked off just where we left off last season, and I think we brought up a couple of times as we go to a replay of what may or may have not have brought out the safety car right on board for 23 Dragon RC.
Nikolaev, and around he goes with the back end, and does he get punted in the front? Yes.
Oh, he get a bit of
big chaos at the back of the field. Big chaos. Gets another shunt into the front. And it's gridlock. Nowhere for drivers to go.
But the just didn't take off there, eh? Good to see they didn't take off, and they knew that even though their race was pretty much done, or that segment of the race was done, they stayed there and they let them all pass and they drove off. It's good to see, to be honest. We left off last season saying that the GAC, you know, me, Matt and myself, we called them last year. We called those last year, and this time we're calling the equivalent. But we did call, Matt, I think that we seen better driving craft in this, you know, the second phase of the series, and it's starting out. You know, they got a first lap safety car last night, and we didn't. It's taken to lap 3. The start of this race, the start of this series for the RSRA Super 2, I'm quite impressed.
So far, first night of the season, and drivers' nerves are going to be high. So don't forget about that one, ladies and gentlemen. I just had in my head what I was going to talk about. That's right. While we do have a safety car, ladies and gentlemen, just a few more things to go through. So, luckily enough, the only thing the boys do carry over in the Super 2 E Series is the fast repair. So they do get one fast repair tonight, unlike Tuesday nights where they get none. Tonight they get fast repair, but everything else is variable. So that means weather, track conditions, track state, the temperature, everything like that is variable. Just like Tuesday night's motorsports for the Super Series. So very even playing field. Just these boys tonight get a little bit of a backup chance in case they do decide to wreck their supercars, I should say, as we saw it just then on the screen, and that was quite a number of drivers. While we do have the safety car out as well, Peter, we may as well go through some sponsors. Nationwide Technology Systems. We've got the Goodyear Auto Care Rana. We've got Racecraft Simulations, DSL Welding, Dragon RC, Devon Stove Design, Blue Stampede Labour Hire. A couple new ones, actually. We've got DSL Welding and Devon Stove Design with Dragon RC. So there are a couple new sponsors, and also a new one as well. FU Suicide, raising awareness for men's mental health, suicide awareness with the blue ribbon. So that's good to have those guys on board there. SDK Gaming, Track Cams for Gourmet, and obviously the man himself, JP, from Sim Shed Broadcasting. So that's we've had JP on all the SimShed Broadcasting on board previously, along with Track Cams for Gourmet, bringing you all these amazing track cam angles, and also SDK Gaming for the amazing overlays that they do there. But by the looks of it, I believe this might be the safety car in. We might see it bog the back end down and start down Casino Straight. There he goes. So that's handed the field over to David Nash. What can he do over Jamie Davis and Scotty Barton? And he get the jump.
It's going to be interesting to see when they do go green there, Matty, just quickly, that it's all out there to prove too. Like, this is a shorter season, so if you want to get the points, you got to do it at the pointy end of the stick and be very consistent. There's no drop rounds. Every rounds count. So you got to be there and thereabouts every season from day dot. And what are we, lap 4 at 37? We're just about to go green. And this is going to be a good restart. They're going to be smart. They're going to keep their head. They know exactly what's on stake, Matt.
David Nash still holding him up, puts the hammer down as he leaves the ripple strip and gets a little bit of a jump over Jamie Davis, but he read that beautifully. Jamie Davis and David Nash have bolted from Scotty and Kyle Zink. Left them in their dust. Oh no! Scotty, around he goes at turn 1. A little bit too much right boot. Gives the tyre barrier a bit of a nudge. We'll get a quick Goodyear Auto Care Rana replay for you of that one, ladies and gentlemen, while the action unfolds. Into turn 1 he comes and just locks the rears, locks the front. Around the Goodyear Auto Care Rana V8 supercar goes and just parks her into the tyre barrier there with the front left. Luckily for him, there's no major damage. Might be a little bit of a bent splitter, but nothing to affect his race too much. That allows David Nash and Jamie Davis some breathing room out the front to scrap it out there. Kyle Zing in third. Benjamin Siren, both those boys from the 9.5 Simport team, third and fourth. Bruce Tannock in fifth, Hayden Smith in sixth, Brian Good in seventh, Timmy Mulford in eighth, Craig Casper in ninth, and Jonathan Bain in 10th position. Good to see Johnny up there, battling it out with the boys up the top. We didn't see too much of him last season. We did notice, though, that his racecraft and his race pace was getting better and better as those 17 weeks unfolded. On board, though, Jamie Davis in the Autoserve Racing entry with the wins package up the side. David Nash trying to break that slipstream down Casino Straight. Into the wall of champions they go. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Up over the curbs they go. Jamie Davis just misses the apex on the left-hander there in the final corner. Onto the main straight they come. Across the line to start lap 6.
They've been going pretty well
so
too.
far is superb. And if I look at my timing board, ladies and gentlemen, on my screen here, it is red and yellow as far as the eye can see, over 38 drivers. Now that's already saying something for what's going to be happening over this 12 weeks and what's going to unfold. Who's going to be your pick, though, to take out that number 1 plate at the end of the season? Let us know. On board, Jonathan Bain in the new Mad As Designs entry there, and geez, does that one stand out. That looks absolutely superb. He gave me a little bit of a sneak peek, I should say, if I get my words out correctly. Gave a little bit of a sneak peek last week of what it's going to look like, and I rated it highly and said, mate, you don't have to change a thing. He's gone and done a few small changes, and boy does it look good. Bruce Tannock at the moment, getting the move done up inside of Timmy Mulford in the DSL entry, up the inside of the hairpin. Timmy Mulford missing the bottom. Bruce Tannock doesn't get the drive out of the hairpin that he wanted to get. Tucks up into the slipstream. Jamie Davis now just goes fast lap 137.64.
Good battle too up the front, Matt. These guys, it's lap 6:37. You still got quite a few few laps to go. Up 13th was Jay Schooler as well. I might add, as we ride it on board with Bella. Bella's actually a surprise person, I think, to be in this. I think in real life timing and stuff like that, he just couldn't get the practice done. But we find him here in the Super 2 series, and we'll have him, that's for sure. And he's doing very well. He's doing very well indeed. He's going to light the stages up all night. But what are we? 7:37. There's 30 to go. Nash, Davis, and Sirens, your top 3. It's been good racing. Really clean what we've seen.
136.98 to David Nash there as well, Peter. He just posted the fast lap as he came across the line to start lap 7. As one of the 9.5 boys runs it a little wide, coming through 3 and 4. And that would be Benny Siren by the looks of it. Cole Zink just behind him. Hayden Smith, though, all over the back of Cole Zink. And yes, David Nash, we just got that one past lap 136.98. And there we go, car 062 drive-through penalty for car contact under safety car with 088 and 083. The car 062. Stefan Lawrence tops the drive-through penalty, and he's serving that one now. So that now puts him a lap down over the rest of the field. Position gainers, positions lost. Peter, what are we looking at on the timing screens there already?
Well, what I can see is all the way down in 19th position, Farrington's up 18th position, up 13 for Schultz, up 14 for Jay Scholar. Quite a few movements as well. B Siren up 12 and is in 3rd position. Just going back quickly, we don't want to dwell on it too much on the race control decisions that is been coming up on our screen. They've taken a hard stance this season, as they have been other seasons, and it's going to bring together, and let's quote the JP and Zach's wording last night, is it's gonna bring together in doing that. When all the worlds and all the lights collide and get together and all that kind of stuff, it's going to be the closest series that we've seen, I think. And last night we've seen, well, 40 drivers, very close racing. And look at this now, we got 40 drivers the night after. Same close racing. Nash 138.9. There's teams, there's drivers. And it's a little bit pedestrian right now. I'm not too sure. We got our battles happening.
Oh, pedestrian off here, Petey quickly. 3 wide, don't mind doing down Casino Straight. Into the wall of champions they go. John Nicola takes the inside line, jumps the curb a little bit too much. That might have been a slowdown for that man right there. He got pushed up on the inside of that corner there. Unfortunately, Bruce Tannock throws him up onto the curb. Donny Bain takes a little bit too much through there as well. That may have been an off track for him. It might have been just on the limit. But how was that, ladies and gentlemen? Sorry to cut you off there, Peter. 3 wide down Casino Straight, ladies and gentlemen. That's a precedent for what's going to be coming here this season as we see Johnny's teammate up there. I believe that might have been Jason. Just make a move up onto the inside of turn 3 there.
Well, hey, Matty, you can cut me off whenever you want because I'm sitting here looking at my screen and I was looking at one person. He's driving around doing laps. There's another screen. There's another couple of screens. You've got to keep watching. You pulled it up and look at this now. Look at the sights. Look at the camera angles. Thanks to Track Cams for Gourmets. It's a single line astern. Where what are we now? Lap 9 of 37. Plenty of racing to go, but definitely Wednesday night. This is where I am. This is where we're going to be, I think, Matt. Well, who have we got out in front? Dave Nash, Davis, Sirens, your top 3. Zink and Smythe is your 5. Sorry if I stuffed up your names, but we'll get there throughout the series. But how good's this so far? And it's the kick-off the series. It may be the Super 2, but like we said last season rather, with the GOC, is that it's not the second, the tier in our eyes. They're just as good, and we've called plenty of races, if not better than them. So this is what we're going to do this year or this season with.
Alright, we'll just cut that one short. We just lost Peter for just a brief moment. Mike just dropped out, unfortunately, so hopefully we can get that one fixed. But on screen at the moment, lap 10 of 37, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, Sim Racing boys, all under the pressure by the 9-5 boys. How's this? There's moves left, right and centre. There's battle packs going on from the front of the field, right down for the minor positions, all the way down in 29th, 30th, 31st position. There's a big battle going on down there. There's a freight train left, right and centre, but there's cars around as well. Got him, Bud. Gives a little bit of a turn there to Anthony Bismarck. Get a Goodyear Auto Care on a replay of that one, JP. Let's see what unfolds here, ladies and gentlemen. Anthony Bismarck into 5 and 6. And Scotty Barton just gives him a little bit of a love tap on the roof bump, and around goes Anthony. And Jamie Davis and David Nash battling it out into turn 1. Jamie Davis hard under brakes. Into turn 1 he goes, new race leader. Jamie Davis gets the move done on David Nash, but David Nash isn't done yet. He's coming up on the inside to 3 and 4. Through they go 2 wide. That'll put Jamie Davis on the inside for 4. Nash slots into the slipstream. Down the back straight they go. Into 5 and 6. Jamie goes defensive. Nash holds tight. Through 5 and 6 they go. Out of the rest of that back straight. Coming into 7 and 8. I'll just get my track notes correct on that one, ladies and gentlemen, and let you know on that one. 6 and 7, 8 and 9. My apologies. My apologies on that one. And ladies and gentlemen, we've been that focused on racing as well And Peter, we've been that focused on racing that we forgot to talk about pit stop strategies. It's all happening so fast for round 1 of season 2. David Nash with a little bit of a slide coming out of the hairpin. Jamie Davis gets the drive of the century out of that corner on a Casino Straight. Pit strategies now, obviously, you can go, there's 2 pit stops tonight. So you could probably go, 13 if you start fuel saving, 12 laps if you want to be get in nice and early and try the undercut. Where would you want to be pit stopping tonight? I'd be under lap 11 and try and fuel save a little bit towards the end before the final stop and go for some qualifying times on those pressure tyres. Here we go. Jonathan Bain, first pit stopper of the night in. Pete, mate, what's your thoughts on the pit stop strategy tonight?
Well, to be honest, and put it simply, that I'm probably more of a follower, so I'd be there if I'm up the front of the field. I'd be there and about, and I'd be just going with the leader, to be honest. So it's nothing of my own thinking, but just go with the leaders and hope for the best. But Davis, Nash and Sirion, well, I think to be out in front now, we're lap 12:37. Follow them, I think you're in for a good set for the race.
David Nash, Siren going for lap 12. Do they come in this lap, ladies and gentlemen? Look out for that one. Car 90, drive-through penalty for car contact on car 6, I believe, if my screen reads correct. That's Scotty Barton on Anthony Bismarck, ladies and gentlemen. So that was that incident that you saw on the Goodyear Auto Care Runner replay of the little turnaround through 5 and 6 there. Sorry, 6 and 7. Down Casino Straight. Davis and Nash come. The splitter dives under the Dodge Bridge and they go for another lap. So these boys think they've got what it takes to take on that 13th lap. That crucial number. Safety car as well did come out as well, ladies and gentlemen. That's one thing we do forget about as well, Peter. Safety car came out and would have added to these fuel numbers a little bit more. So they'll be able to get a couple more laps out of this. So we're going to be looking at around 14, 15, I think. Jason Schooler, Adam Moore, Troy Allen, Shane Clark, Mark Turner, Tommy Foster in, Scotty Barton in. He'll be serving his drive-through or a pit stop, one of the two. Petey, what does the safety car do to their fuel strategy?
Well, for one, if you go in, well, that's just a free pit stop. You just got to get through the end of the field. You don't have to catch up. But if you're out underneath the safety car, well, then you save fuel. You hold the clutch. You don't need to be at high revs as if you're racing. So, you know, in the perfect world, you want to pit under yellow, but it's not going to be many yellows, if any, here, and we've seen that last season. You gotta plan. You gotta plan for green pit stops. Have a look at the battle we got on the screen here. Again, I'm caught napping looking at my other screen. It's like we all go 2 by 2 around here. We're riding on board with Colander. Sorry, mate, I can't see your name.
Crittenden. Unfortunately, our screens aren't the best at the moment tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So a little bit fuzzy on our end, but that's due to obviously the NBN still not being able to fix their issues there. But Gary Crittenden there with a move around the outside through turn 1. Jamie Davis though on screen. David Nash not far behind him. One more lap they go. So they'll make that 14 of 37. Under racing there. They had the 2-3 laps there under safety car, so we might be able to see him just squeeze that. Oh, big slide from Jamie Davis as he comes out of 4. Through 5 they go. So let's have a look. Let's just listen here briefly, ladies and gentlemen, to see if he lifts off any earlier. Oh, a little bit of lifting there by Jamie Davis as we've got a little bit of a technical issue going on at our end. By the looks of it, that's sorted itself out. It might be an iRacing stiff technicality there. Oh no! Jamie Davis! Jamie Davis bags him up coming on a Casino straight and sends himself into the wall. That's going to be race ending for him, Neil. That's going to put him down in 5th position. That's podium done by the looks of it. Let's watch what happens. Goodyear Auto Care, we're on a replay. He's caught the grass just a smidge. You might have been able to just catch that briefly, ladies and gentlemen, as we just had a penalty pop up on our screen as well to someone. Car 84 drive-through penalty for pit lane infringement. So that would be another rule that they're enforcing tonight, ladies and gentlemen, where they must travel. You've got 3 lanes, the fast lane, the merging lane, and your pit lane, or your pit bay. You must travel in the fast lane, you must merge into the merging lane, one pit lane or pit stall, or the second pit stall before yours, and then use the pit stall behind your one to transverse into your pit stall, and you're allowed to use one other pit stall on exit. So obviously someone's come in and gone a little bit greedy, and Race Control have picked that one up. So Race Control are really going to try and set the bar high early on in the first couple of rounds and maintain that the whole way through Season 2, ladies and gentlemen, and really test these drivers and get them to start concentrating a lot more than what they are used to. On screen at the moment, Simon Bella, our current race leader from the Century Esports entry. And I just hear he pitted on lap 2. So he's gone for a bit of a different strategy, ladies and gentlemen. I think he would have got wind of the safety car, gone in for a quick splash and dash. So that would help him. So that means he might be coming in around lap 17, lap 18. So look out for him to pit, see where that's going to put him out. We know he's been quick in the Super Series or in the nationwide technology system. Oh, he's in early. Lap 15 he pops in. So he didn't get too much splash and dash out of the way, but it would be enough to make some positions up over a few drivers. Bradbury Kelly did the same thing, pitted on lap 2. So this now invites Nash back to our official race leader. Kelly's in. Bradbury stays out to take the race lead for the moment. So Robbie Bradbury, our current race leader, David Nash effectively our race leader. Simon Bell's still in the pits there, same with Peter Kelly. He just jumped into his pit bay. Jonathan Bain on the screen though, with the new design livery for Season 2. Lap 16 of 37. Round 1, Montreal 160 for the Real Sim Racing Australasia Super 2 E-Series. We hope you're enjoying watching it from wherever you are at home around the world, across all the platforms, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, you name it. JP's got every platform covered to stream it across. Shane Clark with the fastest lap of the race at the moment, 136.9. He's slowly making his way up through the field after starting all the way back in last position from pit lane. Missing out on that pole start. Would have been good to see where he got that one, got from that one. Craig Casper though, currently sitting in 13th position in the DSL welding entry.
You got the Scholar in there in the middle. He's probably looking a little bit unnervy as Casper was taking some moves, but if you have a look at this battle, done. Lap traffic gets out of the way as they should. Who we got? Car number 28 drive through pit lane infringement. That's one thing we haven't touched on yet, Matt.
That's Mark Downer, I believe. Oh, Turner. Sorry, not Downer. Turner. My apologies. We'll just get messages relayed to us through our ears, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes when you talk, we've got JP talking in the ear or Peter talking on air. I miss what JP says just briefly. David Nash, though, takes the race lead effectively. Benny Simon and Hayden Smith now second and third. Jamie Davis makes up the position, drops back up into 4th position. Where does that, though, drop Robbie Bradbury down in the field? He's on his way out of the pits and he pops himself out 8 positions up from where he started. by the looks of it. Mark Turner serving his drive-through penalty now. And by the looks of it, Robbie Bradbury seals himself in 15th position, 8 positions up from where he started. And Shane Clark now up in the 7th position, just behind Simon Vella and Timmy Mulford there. They're scrapping it out, Timmy Mulford and Simon Vella. As you see on screen there, ladies and gentlemen.
Just quite a shock to see Vella in the Super 2, but here we are, and he's doing a good job. And he's going to fight it out. Doesn't matter which series that is in. But down the inside here. Look at that. Oh, is that Vella? I think it is Vella. Oh, side by side. He's going to squeeze him. He's going to squeeze him here.
Oh, a bit of argy-bargy there, ladies and gentlemen. How about that? Robin is racing. Timmy Mulford wasn't too happy. He gave him a little bit of a love tap on the exit. But Mulford had a look up the inside, wasn't close enough coming up to the Dodge Bridge. Vella gets the position sorted. This allows Shane Clark now to have an attack. What can Shane Clark do over this lap here? 20 to go, ladies and gentlemen. 2 wide into the walls of champions. Sure, right, Sid Racing.
They're trying side by side through there, and they're not giving in. It's lap, what is it, lap 18 to 37, we're almost halfway. Then they don't want to give in. This is it. Nash is doing good. He's up 7 positions. The rest of them up the front, they're doing really well. We're right on board with Schooler now. There's a 3-car battle, and it's an element of smarts, and there's an element I want to win in this, and this is a 3-car battle that you don't want to look away from. But Jason Schooler's doing a good job defending his position. He's in 11th.
Jason, a new driver to the Super 2 E-Series, ladies and gentlemen. So get familiar with that name and that livery, because he's up 14 positions from where he started all the way down in 25th position. So he's made a nice little charge up to the front of the field. Note as well, Benny Siren in 2nd. He's up 13 positions from where he started. So he's had a nice little drive there. A lot of big movers though throughout the field. Alex Schuller up 14, up 17, my apologies. He started in 18. Started all the way down in 17th, 18th. Do some maths for me, please, Peter, because my head's all over the shop at the moment. I do need a calculator in front of me, and I've got my mobile phone. Unfortunately, I can't unlock it quick enough, ladies and gentlemen. But he started all the way down in 30, I believe it'll be 35th position there. Jamie Davis, though, fighting back and making his way back up to where he wants to be. And that's at the front of the field. All over the back now of Hayden Smith as they come through turn 5. A little bit of damage to the front right.
This 4-car battle here, they're not in the box seat as such. Hayden Smith's currently sitting in 3rd, but they're, I think I called it as a 4-car. I think we've got a 5-car battle. They're just watching each other, and also lap traffic's got to come into play. So we only a couple of cars that are in contention here, but you drive around the track as we watch, and they're just following each other. Lap 19 to 37, you will see them. You'll see them get out of the way, and look at this. Oh, almost, but that's Hayden Smith that we're riding on board, 3rd position.
Jamie Davis going to be having a look up the inside of the wall of champions. Hayden Smith will make this one easy by the looks of it. He's supporting a little bit of damage on that front splitter. Allows Jamie Davis to prop up into 3rd position there and take the bottom step of the podium. Lap 19 to 37, ladies and gentlemen. Longer races tonight and for the rest of the series. And a quick rundown, we've got 1 endurance round. Well, this 12-week season, we had the 17 weeks last week, so we had the Triple Crown. My apologies, 2 endurance rounds this season. We had the Triple Crown last season over 17 weeks. We were able to squeeze in 3. Only able to squeeze in 2 endurance rounds, and we'll bring that up in the post-race show as well, the race calendar, so we can see what's going to be ahead for these 12 weeks, where we're going to be at. I know we got two brand new tracks that iRacing have brought out that we're going to be having a look at. That's one thing I'm going to be excited for. Nash, Siren, Davis, Smith, Bella, Mulford, Clark, Vane, Martin and Casper, your top 10, ladies and gentlemen. Jason Schooler, 12th position. Battling it out here with, who's behind him, Scotty Short from the Riot Sim Racing Group. The Riot boys supporting a new livery as well. Quite a few new liveries from teams that you'd be very, very familiar with, ladies and gentlemen. Riot's one of them. Middle Finger Racing's another one of them. The E1 Sim boys, they haven't changed much. And oh no, we got cars off the track. Alex Schuler and Peter Kelly off the track in turns 8 and 9. Ned Miller though, the inside of the hairpin. He gets the job done over Adam Moore. Drag race, Adam Moore. There he goes, you can take me in the hairpin, I'm going to take you down the casino straight and have a drag race with you. Ford v Ford. Who's going to win? It's a run to the wall of champions, up on the inside. Miller goes, you can have the position, I'll try and get it back from you next lap. Drops a few car lengths back though through the wall of champions. Simon Bella now up into 5th position. He's had a stellar race. He finally got around Tim Mulford. Oh no, my apologies. He already got around Tim Mulford. Tim Mulford's going to be going back at him. Shane Clark's dropped off this group though. Shane Clark was going to be in for the battle, but Timmy Mulford's found some pace. He's got a stellar run up all over the back of Simon Valerie, coming into the hairpin. Tucks into that slipstream. Can he get close enough into the hairpin to have a run down Casino Straight? We'll have a look. Lock up low from Simon Bella. That promotes Timmy Mulford onto the back bumper. Timmy Mulford just can't get those Dunlop tyres to hook up. Simon Bella was able to and just scoots away by 6 car lengths. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. That's the difference between wheel spin out of the hairpin and getting those Dunlop tyres to grip up and shoot that 650 horsepower supercar. Simon Bella into the pit zone. Timmy Mulford follows suit. Shane Clark follows suit. Second round of pit stops underway.
It looks like they're all going in together as well. Busy pit lane, but it's a safety car, race control. Thank you for that information.
Nash, Siren, Davison, Smith, Martin miss out. Bad word that it could be Robert Brewer that copped or caused the second safety car for round 1, season 2. Cops the grass a little bit. Oh no, by the looks of it, he might have popped an engine. So let's watch here, ladies and gentlemen. We've got guys that were in the pits. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, you had Simon Bella already pit. So he's back out on track. Only 30 seconds behind the leader though. And they are catching at a rapid rate. So if they pit now, they will be able to get to the end just on a smell of an oily rag, we feel. Don't forget, cool down lap at the end of it. No escaping back to the pit lane. Cool down lap must be completed, otherwise you forfeit 3 positions. So, Simon Vella pitted. Jimmy Mulford pitted. Who else is pitted? Peter Kelly is pitted. Craig Casper is pitted. Jonathan Bain has pitted. And David Leslie has pitted. Stephen Banks has pitted. And so has Anthony Visma. So these guys pitted when they heard the safety car call. Nash, Siren, Davis Smith, Martin Zink, Short, Schooler. and Allen have not pitted yet. So that's going to put them into the pits, which means once these guys go green again, these guys are going to be dropping down. They should be pitting now, even though it's going to drop them down the order due to the safety car. Even though Simon Vella's been able to make up that 30-odd seconds, he's only now 10 seconds due to the safety car, the queue that he's got to go through. That now promotes, effectively, if my calculation's going to be correct once these guys pit, providing Nash, Siren, Davis and those boys can get a good restart and Vella gets a poor start, this could effectively promote Simon Vella into first position. Peter, your thoughts?
It's interesting. Safety cars or pace cars, they change everyone's situation and strategy, but it's been pretty well. And we'll jump on to Simon Vella. And let's listen, see if he's saving some fuel while we're under yellow.
So we think Nash and the boy, everybody who's pitted, are going to be having to do a quick splash and dash. Casino Straight is long. You can get a little bit of fuel saving there. If you can find yourself someone with good pace, you can tuck into the slipstream for a bit and save some fuel. But you've got to be careful because the boys in front could be bolting from you to make up for lost time in their pit stop that's going to happen. You've still got to complete that cooldown lap. And obviously the race winner, if he wants to, can do a burnout. So 9 times out of 10, boys being boys, ladies and gentlemen, or a female, if you were the case and you're a rev head, you'd be wanting to be to do your parade lap across the start finish line by torching the absolute bejeebers out of those Dunlop tyres. So Nash could be smart. Nash could pit now and effectively have the whole field follow him in. But he's not. He's going to do the late restart. Gets the jump over. Gets the jump over his teammate. He's got his teammate there. His lap traffic behind him. Oh, no. Oh, look at this. That might have been a little bit of team tactics there. His right sim racing teammate of David Nash was being smart, holding off onto the far side of the road to allow the faster boys through. Benny Simon and Jamie Davis didn't quite catch what was going on. David Nash got the big jump. That forced the whole entire field to check up and hold up.
They get through pretty cleanly. Oh, but they're battling. It doesn't. Oh, look at this side by side. Who's that Vella? Is that we're on board with Vella? Side by side through there. He's up. He's right up there. He's under the grid. I think you got 2 teammates battling through there. That's Bradbury and Vella, both for the Century Motorsports. They all got a yield down here. Oh wow! These guys, how good are they driving? Flying through there. Single line. That was an awesome view. Riding on board with Simon Vella, or now Nash.
Nash has got the pedal to the metal. He's going to try and gap the field so he can get into the pits and try and make up for some lost time. He knows Simon Vella, who's currently 11 seconds behind him, has already pitted. If his fuel numbers are correct, he knows that they're going to have to do another pit stop. Blown motor in the pits there for somebody. That car's smoking. Can Nash stretch this enough where he doesn't have to do the splash and dash at the end? This could fall into his hands, it may not. It's all going to come down to the final 5 laps, ladies and gentlemen. So don't go anywhere. Look at this, 3 wide through turn 1. They sort themselves out to 2 wide to turn 2. Not an easy place. Right to blow from one of the Mustangs there.
This battle is about 6 or 7 cars, and what have we got? 12 laps to go. Yeah, I think the guys that are waiting for the Simon Vella just
Simon Vella with a slowdown. Simon Vella has popped the slowdown, ladies and gentlemen. He's fallen back down through the field. The slowdowns are big around Montreal. Timmy Mulford, he's already made the second pit stop. He's now in the box seat to take out a race win. This is going to be right to the wire, ladies and gentlemen. David Nash, nearly a 3-second lead over Jamie Davis. What does he do? He's gone past the Dodge sign. He's into the pits. So's Jamie Davis. So's Benny Siren.
You're going to see a lot of
guys. One more lap. Jamie Davis with a big slide into the wall of champions. Davis and Siren stay out for one more lap. They think they can stretch it. They go side by side down the straight into turn 1. Jamie Davis with an offensive line.
Mulford in the pits too. Just we mentioned that he was in the box seat. He's back in the pits now. Busy pit lane.
So he's not going to make it on the fuel. But Davis and Siren stay out for one more lap. Nash has pitted. That puts him out in 19th position, 20th. If he gets ahead of Stephen Banks, 19th position, David Nash pops out. So he's got a bit of traffic in front of him. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, those guys in front. Cole Zing, Schull, Clive, Johnston. Those boys have to pit. Yesberg has to pit as well. And new name in there, Will Yesberg. A new driver. So fresh tyres for David Nash. What can he do with these lap times? Jamie Davis, by the looks of it, has torched the rears of his. He'll be wanting to come in this lap. Here we go. Davis in for one more lap. How is about this, ladies and gentlemen? He thinks he can go the distance with Benny Siren. They reckon they've saved enough fuel. So this will put them to the end if they pit this lap. 1:37.8 by Jamie Davis. That is a fantastic lap. He's on the loud pedal around Montreal in Canada.
I think he knows what he's doing. I think he's done his homework there, Matt. These two exactly, they're going for it, and I think they're on the same strategy. And I think we're going to see these two cars right at the end. Look at them go.
Nash behind Clark. He needs to get by to get some clean air through the front end of that ZB Commodore and get some pace back into the car. He needs to get by now so he can make up some time to Jamie Davis. Nash, though, last time round, 1:36.98. So they're on par. Davis and Nash are on par for lap times. There we go, Timmy Mulford. Car 85, contact with car 35, Robbie Bradbury. A drive-through penalty for Timmy Mulford. That's why he would have pitted. There we go. Car 105. Drive-through for car contact on 9.58, lap 25. So that's Troy Allen on Kyle Zing. Kyle Zing, we didn't see it. He's dropped down 24 positions. He's all the way buried in 31st. Andrew Johnston on your screen now. Under immense pressure. Or is he getting around a lapped car? Oh, look at that. 2 wide, don't mind Drews into the wall of champions. That's some good driving by Andrew Johnson, racing all over from the border there across the ocean in New Zealand. Good to see bikes like him betting on the sim late at night for those boys over there. There we go, 138.1 for Javen Nash, 137.6 for Jamie Davis. So he's getting held up immensely by Shane Clark, but Jamie Davis is still out on track. Goodyear Auto Care on a replay. We got an incident. Peter, talk us through this one.
Well, we got Tim Mulford in this one. Here we go, as they all come down the straight. It's been good racing. Oh, he just failed. I think failed to, I don't know what's happened there, failed to get his brake marker. He feels bad, obviously he's parked in the middle of the chicane, but he gave him a big nudge there, Matt, and that's not what you want, and he'd be very apologetic in that one.
Jamie Davis finally in the pits. Danny Siren follows. Here's Nash coming around the hairpin now. Can't get round Shane Clark. Car 777 pit lane infringement. That's Stephen Banks. Andrew Johnson allows the boys to go by him. He might have a... Andrew Johnson looks like he's out of fuel down the casino straight. He's limping back to the pits. Jamie Davis in the pit box now. David Nash onto the main straight. Shane Clark could effectively take the race lead here. Davis is moving out of his box. Where does he come out? He's miles behind Nash. Miles behind Nash. Jamie Davis pops out in 9th position. So did he take on too much fuel? 17.8 second pit stop to a David Nash of a 16.87 second pit stop. So Jamie Davis, even though he went that bit longer, still had a second longer pit stop than what David Nash did. So fuel numbers might have been a little up in the wind on that one. On board now with Mark Turner. Sitting behind Tony Gaffer. Jonathan Bain not far behind him. Anthony Visma with him as well. Mark Turner, a new name in the sim world. Especially for the RSRA as well. First time we're seeing him on our screens, ladies and gentlemen. Car 777 with some damage there. That's Stephen Banks.
He's gone straight through the
Mark
intersection
Turner
there.
locks him up into the wall of champions. Mark Turner into the wall of champions, locks him up, drops down into 3rd position. That promotes Jonathan Bain to the race lead. Anthony Visma in 2nd.
Actually, see, I haven't seen the light blue Switch Panel Pro livery out there yet, but Visma is showing me right now is sitting in their 2nd position, Switch Panel Pro. So that means also that he races for Type N Esports, and pretty much every race you see him in, they do very well. He's sitting in 2nd here for the RSRA Super 2. And he's right on the back of Jonathan Barn. He's got Turner behind him and Clark and Nash. So who knows, it's 30-37, 7 to go.
Car 90, drive-through penalty for car contact with the 777, ladies and gentlemen. That's with Stephen Banks. So drive-through penalties, big tonight. Jane Clark up on the inside of Mark Turner with a big slide, almost takes out David Nash. Luckily, David Nash was able to get away with that one. Very, very lucky Nash is there. Almost got taken out by Mark Turner. Goodyear Auto Care, we're on a replay. Payne in the pits. Gisborne now takes the lead. Claire Van Ree on your screen now. A little bit too much gas, into the wall he goes.
There's the errors you don't want to see too, hey Matt, is the errors under your own steam, but that also knows that he's got the passion, he wants to win this. It's lap 31 out of 37, still 6 to go, he really wants to, every position counts.
3, 1 and 2 we hear may not be able to finish the race. They're going to be extremely tight on fuel. What can Anthony Visma do? Can he save enough fuel to make it to the end? Can Shane Clark save enough fuel to make it to the end? He was our pole sitter. Unfortunately, escaped out of the car. Car 088, pit lane infringement, lap 22. So a lot of pit lane infringements tonight. That's a Shane Clark. Shane Clark with a pit lane infringement. So that's Shane Clark's race done. Shane Clark with an infringement on pit lane, Peter. That's big news.
Well, it is. It's sort of, we just got in our ears that the top couple wouldn't pit anyway, and if he's got to stop and go or drive through, well, he's got to do it again. But Visma is up 38 positions. That may play in a bit of his hands. He can't get home from here, no, but I don't know. Visma, he's not going to finish the race. The pit lane's busy now. I think they might have gone in.
Clark's in for the drive-through. Visma stays out for another lap. That promotes Nash into second. Mark Turner into third. Jamie Davis not far down. Here we go. Jamie Davis just gets around Mark Turner then. Jamie Davis now up into third position on my timing board. On board at the moment, Simon Vella. Now with Jamie Davis. He's on the hunt for Nash. Nash not far up the road from Davis at all. Big scrape on the wall though for Davis as they come through turn 4, through turn 5, into 6 and 7. And while there's a little bit of a gap in between those two, ladies and gentlemen, next time round we'll jump on board with your effective race leader, David Nash, for a quick flying hot lap around Montreal. As we watch Anthony Visma though, he's got a stellar drive so far. He's looking for a safety car, we reckon. Oh, Simon Vella! Simon Vella cops the back end of car 34. That would be Scotty Short. That will be a trip to pit lane, no doubt, for Simon Vella. So that might be a race done for Simon Vella as well. Our two contenders, Vella and Clark. They're done. Car 958. Right through penalty with car 105. The 958, that's Kyle Zink. Car 105, that is Troy Allen, ladies and gentlemen. So Kyle Zink on Troy Allen. So Jamie Davis at the moment is a second a lap faster. That time round they were only he was only half a tenth faster than Nash. Clark's into the pits for his infringement. Is it a drive-through? Oh, is he in for a stop though? That's another question. That is a very good question brought to us by our producer JP. We will watch and see. Alright, there we go. Oh, no, he's in for a pit stop. So Shane Clark in for a pit stop, and no doubt will serve his drive-through penalty a lap after. He's already done his drive-through, we hear. So, Visma, we are confident, needs to come into the pits to grab a quick splash and dash. He's held the fort at the front of the field at the moment. The boys behind him, Nash and Davis, are slowly closing in. Right, well, this time around, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get you to crank up that volume, and we'll see what happens with Visma very briefly. He comes around for one more lap. He's very brave. We'll stick with this, ladies and gentlemen. We're up lap 33 and 37. Peter, I reckon Visma might be playing the long game here and hope for a very late safety car, which lap 34 or 37 may not happen now.
Yeah, well, I think we heard that in the ear that yeah, that's it. It may be the case, and our observation is pretty much that as well. Not too sure if he's going to get a safety car. We've only got 3 to go. If we do get a safety car, it's going to finish under yellow. But well, yeah, I don't know. It's all to do with the. He knows what he's doing. You know, he knows what he's doing. It's a round one, but he knows what he's doing. It's a Switch Panel Pro livery. That's Taipan Esports. What have we got here? Car 11, pit lane infringement. So, I don't know. Visma, I will stand by our producer's knowledge, and I think he has to pit again. But David Nash, I think, may have this in the bag. Another pit lane infringement from car 34. On lap 25 as well, so plenty happening, Matt.
Plenty happening, that's for sure, Peter. Pit lane infringements left, right and centre as we got a banged up right sim racing Mustang there at the hairpin. Gives way to Visma, Nash and Davis. Nash and Davis, though, are closing in rapidly on Visma. He's been able to hold the gap. By the looks of it, these boys are going to catch him. Visma is fuel saving ferociously.
Is he going to be able to get home, though?
Visma comes finally.
Oh.
So finally into the pits, Visma comes. This now promotes David Nash to the race lead. It's a battle for 1 and 2 between Nash and Davis.
He's answering the same question too. I was going to say, can he make it home? Did he do some weird calculations? But no, Visma's in the lane, and Davis is, well, will be the effective leader, I think.
Nash has turned the wick up, that's for sure. He's a 137.44 over Jamie Davis, 137.48. So only 0.04 of a second separate those two drivers there around, or last time around. The quickest out of those two at the moment so far for the race is David Nash by 1/100th of a second. 136.98 battles and 136.99, the fastest lap of the race. Car 420 pit lane infringement. Gary Crittenden, race control have not been light this time around, ladies and gentlemen. This is the most time I've seen. Oh no! David Nash with a slowdown promotes Jamie Davis to the lead.
He's going to want to get that back, that's for sure. As he right on board, that goes through the left, right sort of combination. He may have got a slowdown, but not for long. We got 2 to go. It's going to be an exciting last couple of laps from these, from Davis and Nash, I think. But I don't know, Matt. Oh, I wouldn't like to be putting my money on the winner.
I don't know who's going to win this. This is going to go right down to the wire. There's only going to be hundreds, if not thousandths of a second separating these two across the line. I have a feeling about that one, ladies and gentlemen. Last time round, a 138 to a 139. So that's obviously due to David Nash's slowdown, and that is significant for him. Oh, look at this. Nash all over the back of Davis now as they come out of turn 2 into turn 3 and 4. We'll watch this one to the end, ladies and gentlemen. No crank up the volume tonight. We'll make sure we make it up for it next week. We'll try and get you a hot lap brought to you by FU Suicide as well in the mix of that one as well. Jamie Davis through 6 and 7. David Nash all over the back of him. Only 0.3 of a second separate these two drivers, so they come down the back straight into 8 and 9. Nash with the drive. Can he get close enough to have a crack under the hairpin? Davis goes defensive. Davis with the defensive line. Over and under, looks like it's about to happen for Nash. Can he get those Dunlop tyres hook up? Let the slipstream kick in. Have a look up into the wall of champions. That's what he'll be thinking. The slipstream into effect now. Not close enough to have a go. Next lap round will be final lap. The white flag is out for Jamie Davis and David Nash.
They're not going to let anything
Race
happen.
1. Almost coming to a close, ladies and gentlemen. These two have battled it out all race. It's been close. Oh, big check up for David Nash by Jamie Davis. Big slide though for Davis. His tyres are struggling. This is promoting Nash all over the back bumper. Where can Nash have a go? Another big slide for Jamie Davis. His tyres are shot. He's pushing to the absolute limit. Nash now going for the outside. Now for the inside. Now for the slipstream. This is last lap racing for race 1, round 1 for the RSRA Super 2 Series. Nash up on the inside and Jamie Davis has a look into 8-9. Takes the curb. Little bit of argy-bargy. Nash around the outside. He's got himself up on the inside now for the hairpin. It's a drag race between Davis and Nash. Nash having a look. Jamie Davis squirming under brakes. Gives him racing room. It's going to be a drag race to the wall of champions, ladies and gentlemen. David Nash lights him up now, coming out of the hairpin. Doesn't get the drive. This could be Jamie Davis's race to lose on the final corners for the Montreal 160, ladies and gentlemen. It's all come down to this. I said it'd be to the wire. It's gone to the line. Jamie Davis takes the first win for the RSRA Super 2E Series.
Well, hey, mate, that was awesome racing. Hey, mate, I just sit back. I tried to butt in a couple of times, but that call to the end, mate, you're on fire. The first round of the RSA Super 2 done. First round of commentating is also done, and from on the back of the first one, mate, you're on fire. How good was that? How good was the race, mate? Davis only marginally getting that one done.
Davis drove a superb race. He fell back due to a slowdown. He fought his way back hard through the field, played the pit stop strategy right. Jamie Davis from the Autoserve Racing and the Ford Mustang GT takes out the first round win for the Real Sim Racing Australia Super 2 E Series at Montreal for the Montreal 160. First race winner crown, the first target on the back painted. And ladies and gentlemen, our first championship points have been set. So who's going to be getting bonus points for clean racing? There was a lot of argy-bargy, a lot of off tracks by the looks of it. We just had a giggle in our ear by our director JP with a little no one as he giggled that one out to us in our ears. So we have a feeling a few guys are going to be having quite a few X's next to their name. Don't forget, 13X every 9X after that is a drive-through penalty as well. So we'll bring that. Might even try and get an overlay sorted for you, ladies and gentlemen, so we can see those X's pop up for you and see who's got the incident counters. But for now, Jamie Davis, turn the volume up on this one, ladies and gentlemen, for the first burnout for the Real Sim Racing Australia Super 2E Series. In the booth. He's been practicing that one for a very, very long time, I have a feeling. Right, ladies and gentlemen, now for the results. The Racecraft Simulations unofficial results, and that is Drivers' Choice Team Championship points. That's not what we want. Let's try this one again, shall we? Hey, that's all over the shot too. I can still make that one out. Just. We don't know what's going on here. We're having a very big technical difficulty. But JP's been hard at work here. He's been able to get the drivers up on screen with a photograph and have their sponsors or their team in the background. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Look at the mugshot of Jamie Davis from the Autoserve Racing. Jamie Davis, your race winner. David Nash in second. Hayden Smith in third. Benny Siren from the 9-5 boys in fourth. Tony Gaffer in fifth. Craig Casper in sixth. Jonathan Bain in seventh. It's good to see him up there mixing it with the boys now. Anthony Visma, mate, up in an exceptional 31 positions tonight, ladies and gentlemen, to get himself home in 8th position. He's got to be wrapped with that. That's driver of the night right there. Robbie Bradbury in 9th. Adam Moore rounding out your top 10. And look at that, ladies and gentlemen. It is evenly paired for Holden and for this season. We had a Holden dominating field last season for season 1. By the looks of it, it's evened itself up for season 2. Peter Kelly, Stephen Martin, Shane Clark, Nathan Clive, Mark Turner, Scotty Short, Will Yesberg, Jason Schooler, Brian Good, and Scotty Barton. Rounding out your top 20 there. Simon Vallerstead, Miller, Alex Schuler, Daniel Schultz, Paul Zink, Andrew Johnson, David Leslie finishing up on the lead lap there down in 27th position. And then we start going into our one lap down where our lap drivers, Troy Allen, Blair Van Ree, Bruce Tannick. Over the page we go to Gary Crittenden, Craig Gurry and Stephen Banks are all finish of the races. The rest are non-finishers. Tim Mulford, Simon Farrington, Robert Broad, Thomas Foster, Stephen Black and Stephen Lawrence. And obviously a Porsche down there, excuse me ladies and gentlemen, the Porsche down there in 40th position is our number 1 safety car driver for the RSRA Super 2 E-Series of Craig Schultz. Well, Peter, get a quick recap from you, mate, of so far round 1 before we get to the post-race interviews with our podium there. Mate, your thoughts on that one? It was action-packed from the get-go, 2 safety cars, lots of fuel saving done by quite a number of drivers, and a lot of hard driving on empty tanks of fuel.
Yeah, mate. How I seen it was hard off the start, hard off the green flag, and then hard off the 2 restarts as well that we had. But they managed each other well. Jamie Davis to be up 4 positions to take the race, especially by the challenge he had by Nash and Smith, Siren, Bradbury. That was your top 5. Yeah, they done very, very well to get this round 1 out of the way. Hopefully, everyone in race control wasn't as busy as they were last night, but plenty of stuff to look at. If not busy, as I'm getting in my ear, but as we're seeing on screen now is the restart. But it's a very, very good start to the season for the RSA Super 2.
Well, it's going to be... Well, the action has been set, ladies and gentlemen, for the Super 2 E-Series. We saw Jamie Davis there on your screen with an absolute blistering start. The bar's been set high there, Peter, and ladies and gentlemen, for Season 2 for the Super 2 E-Series. Hopefully we can see some excellent racecraft come out of these guys over the 12 weeks. 11 weeks now to go after tonight. And that's for sure, I am looking forward to it 110% to see what these drivers can throw towards this series. We've got 2 new tracks that they've never been to before. We'll get that up on screen shortly as well once we've done these interviews. But off to the post-race interviews now with our podium, Jamie Davis, David Nash, and Hayden Smith. Hayden Smith, obviously a new name that you're all not familiar with. David Nash, we know. We've spoken to you many a times, mate, and Jamie Davis has spoken to you a couple times as well in the past. But we'll start off with the newcomer to the RSRA, Hayden Smith, finishing up in 3rd position for round 1, race 1 for the Montreal 160. Hayden, mate, pleasure to meet you to start with, and congratulations with your 3rd position.
Cheers, thanks for that. It was an interesting race, that's for sure. Good introduction to the series, though.
Definitely a good introduction for yourself, mate. You set the standard high for yourself. Not sure if you're familiar with any post-race interviews or anything, but we'll try and keep it as PG rated as we possibly can. Mate, started out from 4th position, made yourself up to 3rd, so gained of 1 position. You've got to be pretty happy with that for the night. Had a pretty stellar drive and just drove a nice, clean race.
Yeah, it was all right. Well, the first lap in turn 2, I copped a bit of a half spin that put me back a bit, so it was good to peg my way back up. But Jamie had too much for me, and obviously got nasty in the end as well. But it was good. Other than that slight hiccup, I suppose, in turn 2, it was happy days.
We saw, obviously, the race was early in the morning, and track temp seemed to be pretty down. But we saw Jamie Davis, whether it be pushing too hard or just he just shot his tyres too quickly. The tyre degradation around here, I know it can be high. Coming from a racer myself, I've been known to torch the tyres quite quickly around here, and it's quite easily to do with a lot of curb hopping, off-camber corners, especially coming out of the hairpin, trying to get to full throttle in first gear and try and short shift to second doesn't really work. How did you go managing all that tonight?
Pretty much spot on what you said. The hairpin was a nightmare for me, getting it turned in and just understeering all the way through it, trying to get it out. Jamie, on the other hand, he had a fantastic patch where he just had awesome drive out of the hairpin. That's one of the ways he got me out of that. But yeah, it was difficult.
Mate, stick around. We've obviously got a lot more to get through as well. We've got sponsors. We've got what's coming up in racing still for the rest of the season. What's coming up for Saturday and Tuesday night as well. So don't go anywhere, mate. We'll get back to you, that's for sure. Nashy, mate, the week off. You really didn't have a week off. You had pre-qualifying and a lot of practice to do, but obviously a little bit of a break to what you used to during the off week there, mate. It's good to have you back joining us for the Super 2 E-Series. I thought you'd be up there for the Super Series and making it into the big boys up there, but obviously the pre-qualifying has really tested your strengths there, and the hot tracks didn't play into your favour. But good to have you back nonetheless, and congratulations on second position for race 1.
That pre-qual was actually brutal. I thought I did pretty well, and then you get the results, and you're like, how the hell did I end up here? I was banking myself to make split 1, but fall from grace there. So back here, but hey, this is first race. Awesome. So
we've got our director again in our ears, ladies and gentlemen, JP, with the most evilest laugh you could possibly hear. As David Nash said that pre-qualifying was grueling, and you just hear JP in the background just giggling and away as much as he possibly could. Mate, grueling's an understatement. You had the hottest conditions possibly known to man. You could get out on an iRacing server, and we all know what a V8 supercar is like on a hot track. It's like you're racing on an ice track with no snow tyres or ice tyres. Quickly talk us through it being, one of the drivers that set the precedent last season for season 1, going into pre-qual to try and get into the main game for the Super Series, and trying to get 8 consistent laps over without an incident on some tough conditions. What's something like that? What does it take to do something like that, especially with now going to an open setup away from a fixed setup?
Yeah, it was actually really brutal, and I was away in New Zealand working, so I was on a completely different sim as well. So that made it a bit harder, but obviously the guy's sim I was using is a hell of a lot better than mine at home. So, but yeah, it was just that 8 laps with no X's. So I'll just get in my own practice session and just drive and jump in there and try to get it done as quick as I can. But yeah, some of the guys are turning a fair few laps.
Well, I think I saw part of the admin group page that we've got going on the side, ladies and gentlemen. That us admin over here at the RSRA get some talking done through that. Sometimes we can't all jump into a meeting all at once, so we just use that group chat to chat between us. We saw some drivers racking up over 100 laps just to try and crack out and clean 8-lap qualifying. So there was a lot of laps turned, and I'm sure if I'm JP in the off week, we might be able to get how many laps were actually turned over those 3 pre-qualifying sessions by all the drivers. Try and tally that up and just give you how many laps the drivers actually did. Mate, as JP says, he just loves messing with the drivers. Nashy, mate, second position tonight. You had the race lead for quite some time, and up here in the commentary booth, we're stressing quite a bit that Clarkey and Valor and that we're going to pip you there. Ended up coming out with the race lead for a bit, and then Jamie Davis came out of nowhere behind you, and by the looks of it, you might have copped the slowdown as well.
Yeah, the one slowdown I got all race was
Oh.
second to last lap, so I had a bit of a chuckle. But Jamie was quick. I could see him coming, and I thought I had him in the last lap. He was skating everywhere, but yeah, it was a good little battle we had, and he got the chocolate. So well done to him.
Well, stick around, mate. You know the drill by now. What happens in the commentary booth, so don't go anywhere. Off to Jamie Davis, though, from the Autoserve Racing boys. Mate, you had to bloody drive hard for it tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, I didn't give my tyres much chance to have a bit of a rest in that one.
I'm sure the temperatures would have been skyrocketing. If you had an actual engineer in your ears, you'd be copping an absolute mouthful from him, I believe, to cool the tyres off as good as you can. Mate, congratulations on taking out the first win of the season for Season 2 of the RSRA now. Not an easy feat on your own. You had to drive the wheels off it, and we saw it coming into the final stages of the race. You were all over the place, but one place you did have it hooked up was coming out of, as we see now, the hairpin. How is that all possible for you? Because we saw you being able to get the drive on so many drivers out there. Nashi was up on your back bumper, only 2 tenths away, and you'll be able to drive away from him by a tenth and a half.
Honestly, I got no idea how I was able to make the rear end just squat and grip so easily. Where other corners tried the same thing, and I was nearly butt slapping the wall everywhere.
You out of the hairpin, you had that squatting down and gripping up on those Dunlops extremely nice, and it definitely showed and helped you in the dying moments of the race there when you had that amazing battle with David Nashville screaming down the microphones up in the booth here to see what would happen, and we called it. We'd said it'd be down to the wire, and it was right down to the line. We've got championship points as well, finally, ladies and gentlemen, so we'll bring those up on your screen very shortly. We'll get the last question out of the way for Jamie Davis. Mate, returning driver, obviously, for the series. I believe you're in the main game, correct me if I'm wrong, you're in the main game last season, were you not?
No, I was in the Super 2 series, GAC.
No, Super 2. Oh, there we go. So returning for the Wednesday night motorsports. Hopefully able to make a fairly good result this season.
Yeah, I missed a few rounds at the start of last season, so I'm just looking for a bit of consistency and see where all the balls land at the end of the championship.
All right, well, we already know where you're going to sit. We already know where David Nash is going to sit. We already know where Hayden Smith is going to sit on the table, being first round, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll bring those points up on screen for you so you can see where the rest of the field is going to see. Davis on top with 150 points, Nash in second, Hayden Smith in third, Benjamin Siren in fourth, Tony Gaffer in fifth, Craig Casper in sixth, Jonathan Bain in seventh, Anthony Isma in eighth, and you come into the field, Robbie Bradbury in ninth, Adam Moore in 10th. We'll let those scroll on through while I get Peter to, if he's got any questions lined up, briefly, before we get to a couple more things, what's going on next week for some Saturday night motorsport, some Tuesday night motorsport as well for the Super Series, and where the 12 weeks are going to be taking us. Peter?
Yeah, well, the next 11 weeks are going to be entertaining. If it's got anything to do with what's happened on the back of tonight, hey boys, welcome to the booth. How do you see, firstly, you can all chime in, how do you see the first round of the RSRA series that went down last night? And in comparison, how did you see it going down tonight? As everyone chimes in,
right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, last night was good. It was good to watch and get some few pointers and watch these quick guys go. These younger guys, Rehan and Mika, and Rainer making those spots. It was actually really good to watch. The top 10 guys. There's a bit of drama, but that's this track as well. It sort of drags it all in. So it was really good to see.
Yeah, last night was awesome. You guys pretty much doubled it up tonight with a pretty entertaining night. I think, I don't know how Matt or JP or the viewers saw it, I think it was a much measured approach. I think the guys in this Super 2 series is thinking more long haul compared to, not saying the guys in the top tier aren't, but it just looked like that tonight. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I think so. I think I think it's the long game that half these, like Jamie would know, that you want to accumulate points and then you can be at the top at the end of the season.
So it's the championship, and it's only 12, not 15 or 17 or what it was last year. So the Elbirds have got to be out from the onset, and we've seen that tonight. It was a bloody good night of racing, Matt. I don't know what to say, but the next 11 weeks is going to be awesome on Tuesday and Wednesday night.
Yeah, the next 11 weeks, what's going to be happening, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be absolutely outstanding. And why not get to what we're going to be seeing over the next 11 weeks? I mentioned there is 2 new tracks on the screen for you there. We're heading, obviously, to Montreal tonight, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Off to Watkins Glen next week. We know that's a favourite for many, many people. Laguna Seca heading to the Nürburgring. So just a little update as well. This is the iRacing calendar for the next 12 weeks. So where iRacing goes, we are going as well. Nürburgring for a new one, sort of as well. Park, that's one we haven't visited for a while. Chicago Street Circuit, the new street circuit, concrete walls. That's another Long Beach one. That's going to be an interesting. So we hear, I haven't driven it myself, ladies and gentlemen. What I have seen, it is worse than Long Beach. So that is going to be the most interesting race of the season. One I'm going to be looking forward to. Then we head off to Belle Isle, where few of the boys from, or should I say, few of them, all of them did their pre-qualifying. And then after that, down in August, we're going to the Red Bull Ring, another new circuit that iRacing have brought out. Imola and I can't read that last one. Twin Ring Motegi. My apologies, we're struggling to read because our screens are a little bit blurry. The connection from the NBN is absolutely horrible. But we go on to Twin Ring Motegi and then Phillip Island at the start of September, and the big one, Bathurst. But we've got endurance on that one. Last night there was a sprint round, so it might be a little bit different for the Super 2 Series boys, but the boys are looking at doing an endurance round there. So Chicago and Bathurst are both endurance rounds, and having an endurance round in Chicago is going to be one to look out for. 73 laps of racing. Boys, start off with you, Jamie. 73 laps around a concrete circuit. Not much room to give, pretty tight. It's going to be a tough one and a fairly interesting one.
Yeah, definitely. I've done about a handful of laps or so, but not in a supercar yet. But yeah, it is blind corners, bumpy track, and to do 72, 73 laps around there is going to require a lot of patience.
Hayden, mate, obviously we all love a good street circuit here down under when it comes to a V8 supercar, to watch it on your televisions. Not so much love it when we're heading there ourselves in the sim world. Mate, what's your preparation going to be for such a big endurance event around a street circuit that's as tight as Chicago?
Well, I'll probably get my hand around knowing the track, because I'll be honest, I don't even know the layout, so it'll just be getting used to it, getting a feel for it, and then a bit what Jamie said, just being patient with it. There's no point pushing it too hard for 70 odd laps. You're just going to bin it eventually, so just be trying to keep it clean and just see where you fall out at the end.
Nashi, obviously being open setups on Wednesday Night Motorsport, you boys have a lot more play in what you can get out of the cars instead of being on a fixed setup, where all you could play with was your not even your roll bars, but your brake bias. You get to play with everything now, your roll bars, your brake bias, and then obviously before the race you get to literally dial in the car as good as you can get it. What's the preparation going to be for such a big endurance race around a street circuit like Chicago?
Trying to simulate that endurance, those laps, and just seeing where your car ends up and when to pit and tuning your bias or your bars and that to suit your tyre wear and everything. So there's a fair bit of practice got to go into it. I've got to download the track first, so probably that'd be the first thing I'll do. I
think that's the first thing on many steps for a lot of the boys in the field at the moment. And boys, also while we're on the topic here, Red Bull Ring, a new one as well for the series and for iRacing. I've never even been there myself. Hayden, you been there yourself, mate?
Yeah, and I don't mind it. It's quite a fast-flowing track, I find. So, and there'll be plenty of overtakes in it, that's for sure. Plenty of dives, so it'll be good fun.
Jamie, your thoughts, mate, on Red Bull?
Yeah, good, fast, flowing open track. Just the those curves on the inside and the exit curves will be ones to watch.
Actually, take us through it, mate. I haven't been to Red Bull Ring. Give us a brief rundown of what the track is actually like.
I'm the same with you, Matty, mate. I've still got to download it.
Oh, there we go. So we're both in the same book. Nice track we hear from JP. Jamie, well, just give us a quick rundown. What's Red Bull Ring like? We heard from Hayden it's fast and flowing. A lot of overtaking moves are going to be had. What's it actually like to get around it? Is it easy? Is it a bit like Montreal or, for instance, a Watkins Glen?
I compare it a lot to Silverstone. It's you got to be a bit patient with the throttle, picking the throttle up coming out of some corners, or it's to push you wide and stuff. And definitely those sausage curbs, they will catch you out.
Well, mate, we've still got you on air here, so we may as well get into the sponsor thanks, starting with you. We'll let you have the floor. We'll go to Nashi, and then we'll go over to Smithy as well.
Massive thanks to AutoServe for sponsoring us, all the boys in AutoServe. Make it a great little team to be a part of. JP, everyone in race control, commentary, all the competitors. Thanks, guys.
Nashi, mate.
All the right boys, Simshed Broadcasting, JP for putting this on. I could only imagine the hours that goes into it. Bliss Homes, F Suicide, and all the boys up in the commentary booth and race control.
If you want to know how much effort goes into it, have a look at the bags that sits under his eyes. We wonder why he never posts a selfie of himself up on the social medias. That would be why, because he'd probably have his eyes hanging out of his head. The man does it that many hours. He scares himself, he says. Smithy, mate, I think that's going to be your nickname now from us for the season, I think. And we hope you don't mind, but we'll give you the floor, mate, for some sponsor thanks on your behalf there.
Sounds good. I guess same as Nashi. Cheers to all the right boys. Recently jumped into the V8, so they've definitely been helping me along there and getting up to speed with the car, which has been good. And thank for the first impression, first race seems like an awesomely run series. So thanks to all the guys, commentary team, all the guys racing, and JP sorting all the background stuff. I'm sure you love it. That's why you do it, right? But cheers, guys.
Brain damage from you guys, he says. Well, I've got it fresh in my head as well, boys. Obviously, race control really stepping up their game as of tonight. We saw them step up last night. Tonight, they really stepped up the field tonight and handed out those pit lane infringements for obviously jumping into the merging lane or dropping a extra pit bay in front of yours. How does that play into the minds of you? Because you're autopilot in pit lane. You're really not thinking much. You've got that much going through your head. Your fuel numbers. What am I taking tyres? Where's such on track? Etc. 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 You're not really thinking about what the background rules are and what you can do and can't do in pit lane. Obviously, one to really look out for this season.
Yeah, 100%. So we've spoken about it in the group and simulating correct way. Not taking too many boxes and exits and entries and all that. So one little thing can obviously cost you a drive-through, and then these agents really got to concentrate on doing the correct thing by the rulebook.
Jamie, obviously, race control to be definitely one to be scared of this season.
Yeah, definitely. If it sounds like they're well on top of everything this season, so as long as you know the rulebook, you should be all right.
Hayden, mate, obviously, we're not sure too much of your background within the sim and what leagues you compete in, but you had yourself live race control before in a league?
Yeah, so I just last season was in the OSR Dev Series. So we've had a live race control there, but these boys, there's a bit more with it, especially paying attention to not autopiloting in pit lane. That's something to get used to for sure.
Well, put it in comparison for us here, mate. Obviously, you've been in the OSR, you've been with the live race control there. The flick between the bunch. What's the major difference on that one? Was it better race control with how they've been monitoring stuff? You reckon they're a little bit too harsh?
I think, I guess I haven't had too much. I didn't really get exposed to race control too much this race. I wasn't really caught up in much except the turn 2 or whatever, which is straightforward. But I know the OSR guys, because that's supposed to be set up as really beginner league, they can pick up on, I guess, probably things that this might not. This might just there was a racing incident maybe. But I guess as the season goes on, we'll get a feel for what race control will pick up on and what they accept as just racing.
Well, we hope to have you back up here in the booth with us in the up and coming weeks, mate. Hopefully you get to see your name pop up quite a few more times at the top of the board there. But we'll look forward to what's going to be happening this Saturday for Saturday night motorsport, then over to Tuesday night, and then back here for Wednesday night. Saturday weekend Warriors Cup car racing, brought to you by the SimShed Broadcasting Boys, 7:20 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Hayden Schultz will be taking the lead on that one. Unsure of who's going to be joining him on the side there. We had Zach Caban last weekend. Zachy boy might be coming back in with Schultzy again. But then back here, 8:20 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time for Tuesday Night Motorsport, the Real Sim Racing Australia Super Series. And then we back it up again for Wednesday Night Motorsport, Real Sim Racing Australia Super 2 E-Series. To watch these guys battle out for round 2 around Watkins Glen. And just a quick thank you to the sponsors again, ladies and gentlemen. Nationwide Tracking, Nationwide Tracking Systems. I've got an ace all last season and now I stuff it up. First race, round 1. The Nationwide Technology Systems, Goodyear Autocare Verona, Racecraft Simulations, DSL Welding, the new one that's on board with us. Dragon RC is another new one that's on board with us. Devon Stove Design is another new one on board with us. Blue Stampede Labour Hire. And we've got another new sponsor, FU Suicide. They see their name on a couple of the cars out on track. We've got the Hot Lap. And we've also got SDK Gaming, Track Camp Sport Gourmet, and obviously JP from the SimShed Broadcasting area there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's just gone, just over 10 past 10. It's 11 past 10 at night. So we'll wrap it up nice and early for the first round because we know there's going to be some big endurance races coming up throughout the season. And obviously some short super sprint rounds as well. Round 1, race 1, done and dusted. And what better way, what better way to start it off by losing my voice in the first week. If that's going to say something for what the next 11 weeks is going to lead to, then I am looking forward to it. Strepsils, give me another sponsorship, please, because I'm going to need them with the way these boys have acted tonight. But don't go anywhere for next week, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to tune back in as we take you to Watkins Glen for round 2 of the Real Sim Racing Australia Super 2 E-Series. It's been action-packed here for the Montreal 160, full of safety cars, full of race control decisions, pit lane infringements. Lots of cars being turned around, but one thing wasn't short, and that was the action-packed racing. For the meantime, my name's Matt Davis, joined with me by Peter Gretton and JP, our director at Montreal in Canada, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. For now, good night and see you shortly.